it is Friday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. Now, anyone remember the time about 2 months ago where I pulled about 30 sacred shards for Legate teox during the 2 plus 10x and didn't get him, only to then get him from a prism shard instead when I only had 2 of them? Pretty good, right? Well, you're in luck because the title isn't a lie. We're going to be opening many sacred shards for... Honestly, I can't even say it's for her because I'm just opening in general, because I've got to a pretty silly stash at this point, as you saw by the 71. Now, there are champ chase rewards for opening shards or gaining champions, so behold, rewards. We've done a couple things already, mostly because my reserve vault was full of Broadmoor fodder, and yeah. So we're going to go all the way to the 10,000, but we're going to start past that. So really quickly, I'm going to make a little calculator note here of how many points I have, and add each epic legendary each time, and when we get to 10k we will stop, regardless of what we have or haven't gotten. Now obviously there is a reality check here. The first is that just because it's double sacred, it doesn't mean that every other shard is going to be a legendary. It's a 12% chance, so law of averages, we're going to be getting one every 8 or 9, is it? Yeah, it's about that. And there is well over 200 legendaries in the pool at this point. Let's say for argument's sake that there's 250 on the dot. That means normally there is a 0.4% chance of getting any specific legendary, and a 10x means that we have a 4% chance of any legendary that we summon to be FREYJA FATEWEAVER. And I'm not going to spend too long going on about her because we might not even get her. In fact, the odds are pretty against us if our life depends entirely on that. And yeah, so we'll do a quick review of each epic we get as well, and obviously any legendaries. Won't spend too long in it, and I'll try not to mention Cursed City. If it really is just that, oh, they're good anyway and not to use anyone else, then I'll just go, or something like that. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Okay, stairs. I mean, he was decent in Clan Boss back in the day because of 4 poisons, but nowadays he's kind of like, whatever. Hey. This one generally does pretty much nothing. I mean, okay. AoE attack on a 5-turn cooldown. Whatever. Next one. Who's it gonna be? I believe that's my 3rd or my 4th Lord Champ for now. Let me see. Oh, that's my 2nd one. Okay, so I guess that's not awful. It could be worse to get a 3rd. Anyway, Lord Champ 4, he's better than people say he is in terms of limited content, but I wouldn't use him outside of it, because he has AoE decreased attack, AoE decreased accuracy, both decreased speed on them, the weak version for some reason, and yeah. Okay, next shard. Miscreated monster, early game monster. AoE stun that shields your entire team. Use this in Spider's Den and you have a gigantic shield. Keep your team alive really well with this, and this stun is actually pretty good. Alright, next shard. Hoscarol, previous epic fragment collection fusion. AoE stun that goes with 75% chance, which is great for an epic. This is also keeps himself buff and has another stun here. You will end up putting this guy to 6-star at some point because he's very respectable in that regard in terms of limited content. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna say it. Skull Crusher, again, he's the only counterattack in the game who is on AoE and also an epic. a lot of people use him for like early game clan boss progression before they get unkillable. And he only has 2 skills. He only needs 5 books, and only 1 if you get it here. So he's the easiest champ to book in the game, really. Nelder Ironblade, great for Fire Knight. Trouble hit here that freezes against the hard mode version. He can sometimes do it when someone else will do this, and that includes against hard mode Fire Knight where the freeze is instant removed. It'll work with that. Has a in case you need to decrease speed and a 4 hit here. So yep, this is a good epic. If you get a copy of him sometime, keep him around. You will use him. I can guarantee you that. Okay, a legendary. Who is it? Strategos Sislin, previous fusion. He is designed as a kind of Hydra progression because this and increased speed, but there is a absolute troll tactic in arena defense against weaker accounts where this guy heals himself so much and other people just can't damage him at all because of that, and it's something to watch out for. So if you see this guy just by himself, and you think, oh, this is a free kill, he just doesn't die. He's like old Rhine Beast in that way. Is that our first one? Let me check. Yeah, that's our first one. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Right. Next shard. Kind of. No. Not. Wouldn't recommend that. Aishma, people want her solely for Lady Mikage fusion, past that she is not too great. But obviously if you're progressing that way, Visionary, kind of not great. Shut. Golgarab, a lot of people like him early on. Speed Aura, increased speed with this, and a revive. Like he's like a small arbiter in that way for people who aren't an arbiter yet. So there's that, and I'll probably empower him because I end up using him quite a lot limited content, and having extra durability helps a lot there. Claude Speeder, he's honestly not too terrible in terms of the times when you have to have some shield bot for Cursed City Scarab King. Apart from that, he's not great. Also, I believe he ends up being faster than Arbiter, a fully ascended, but I'm not going to waste time by looking. Next shard. Legendary, who is it? Okay, so we didn't do the Scarred Fusion, and now we have him. So, you know how people say there's a 10x on previous fusions? Well, we've got 2 fusion legendaries so far, so it's clearly a bit higher than 10%, but yeah. They kind of griefed him by making this do like next to no damage whatsoever. Apart from that, you need the Hex, and he does damage, he does not much else, and anywhere else apart from Hydra, you're better off using like something like Herfrak if you have him. Right, next shard. Next shard. Another legendary, who is it? Bloodgorged, that's my second one. He's a very old legendary. This requires accuracy for some reason. He has like no passive aurora. This would be fine again, he needs accuracy. And then he has this, which is, let's just say there's a champion who completely blocks single hits, and another one who makes it so that ignoring defense does not actually completely ignore defense. So, which is a shame, but it is what it is. They buffed him once, they won't buff him again. Yep, Juliana, not very good. Next epic. I mean, next. Fucking what am I saying? Okay, well, I wasn't wrong. Rory and Silken, a much needed support in this faction because this faction has no support, which is the weakest role in the game. She's basically another one of those, I revive someone, I speed up, and yeah. Again, not terrible, but it's Sylvan Watchers. In terms of faction wars, you have no shortage of supports there. Okay, well, next, Legendary. Damn it, that didn't work. Okay, so this guy got nerfed pre-release because they really seem to hate the idea of epics that can use poisons and regen to solo dungeons, even though he's not even good on hard mode because Tainted Ice Golem is immune to poison, but he can place some poisons and detonate them and place a couple more, and the first time around where I had to use, Curse City, Iron Twin, I had to use 2 of this guy for poisons because I didn't have anything else. Right, next shot. Magna, he's a HP nuker, I would say, because this actually has a very decent ratio, and now that you can empower him, because you couldn't at first, he's actually kind of decentish, but however, like any other HP champion, he hates Life Harvest, and he's Demon Spawn, so he also hates Harima. I wouldn't really say he's like LA viable or anything, unless you're playing in a limited meta where epics only, which I have heard Biohack is doing, who is I think you've heard of him. He does like live arena battles where he picks this some coin flip speed comp, and he's got a really fast catcher, and he also doesn't shout his mouth off, so that makes it easier to watch. But yeah, I do watch live arena content creators on occasion. Vildrax, he was released back when Hex became a debuff that you could place on enemies instead of just being on Minotaur, but nowadays he is very outdated, and this is just some gimmick that barely works. So, okay, next shard. Rector Draft, great healer, reviver. Also plays as Perfect Veil, so if you struggle with Head of Torment in Hydra. And it goes up to 109 speed at fully ascended. Quite durable as well. This is one of the better epics, and was actually meta in defense for a while because of how Perfect Veil could cause misdirections. But yeah, this one is good. Keep any copies of him that you get. Another Visionary, whatever. We'll throw away. She's just 5-star food to me. Shatterbones, the not Man-Eater. Actually underrated in terms of progression because this can reset their entire turn meter, and weak version of decreased speed for some reason, and yeah. But yeah, he's alright. I wouldn't build him for anything apart from desperation though. Legendary, who is it? Robar. Okay, that's my second one. I know that for a fact. Again, he's pretty outdated. They buffed him once because his speed used to be 87. He's got 2 AoEs, both hit decently hard, and this can work very well, but he's not really someone who I'd say is overly reliable in that regard, and his lack of self-defense or scaling or anything else means he's relegated to the same pool of Gold 5 arena nuke as everyone else, and any other limited content. Let me just put him in here, so yeah, that's my second one. I never leveled him. Please. Okay, keep going. Seeker, another great epic. This is used in the Bat-Eater comp, which is, well, he's a bat, there's the Man-Eaters, it's a Bat-Eater, and this was also used for a time before Kyoku came out, where you put him, I believe it's first in the team, and when they take a crit, he'd put this on everyone else and they take less damage, but nowadays there's so much ignore defense or anything else that he just can't find a use at all. Right, next shard. Jirang, they buffed him once to make this do both decrease attack and increase defense, but he still goes widely unused. It was shortly afterwards that they just gave up buffing epics. They could have, they just chose not to, I guess, because epics don't make good money, so they're not compelled to. No one's forcing them to, etc. Okay, Fergan Isbale. another champion for if you're doing the Lady Mikage fusion. Past that, she goes widely unused. Yeah, this is probably the most useless passive in the entire game. Yeah, it's... I don't know. They tried. Better than no passive, right? Vergis, he's the easiest way to solo Scarab King on both affinities because he keeps shielding himself over and over and over, and Scarab King just can't kill him. Past that, he's not that useful, but you will build him when you need that sort of thing. Okay, another miscreated monster. We know how that one goes. He's great. And this is our last shard, I believe. Let's see. It's another epic, okay. Wuzgar. He's meant to be kind of this finite progression because 4-hit A1, reflect damage, and a counterattack to do this, but past that he goes pretty widely unused. Okay, so that was 5 legendaries in 31 shards. Let me just check I've done this correctly. So obviously we were above rate because on average we would get 8 or 9 per, but we didn't get anyone who was particularly exciting, and we didn't get FREYJA, but that was to be expected. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, so I'll let you go now. Yeah, really. See ya.